Hello and welcome everyone.
Good evening.
Oh yeah, I'm waving and I'm like, I'm not even on camera. I'm gonna have another drink of my water, which apparently is laced with something.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's
So, did
water.
anybody else hear the intro with the like the dubstep sounding?
No?
No? Mine played like it was playing over itself, but I realized that it's because I did not mute the
The
YouTube
stream?
tab. Yes.
Ah,
And I'm
that
like,
would do it.
what in the world is that?
Oh, and by the way, just to start the stream off, thanks Joe for thinking of me.
That's right. Nothing wrong with the buttons.
Never had a problem finding the button.
Buttons? I don't know.
Yeah, heard it too. Yeah, very weird. It was like a double, like a doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Weird.
Very weird.
Strange.
Very weird.
I
So
didn't
this
I
is
didn't
my
notice it.
last broadcast from the Frodo
Bunker.
Jedi
Bunker.
old studio. It's bare. The walls are bare. We're getting ready to get out of here.
Time to
So
leave.
should we say hi to those in the chitty chat?
We can.
Yeah, who's out
Yeah.
there, Trina?
So we got Sloopy Malibu. It's
Sloppy
been a
bear.
long week.
Someone's getting sloppy, but it's not Sloopy.
We
Sure
have
that's water,
Eric.
Trina?
Yeah, well, it came out of the tap, so hopefully.
Oh, it is Ontario, and it is Pride Month.
Well, the end of Pride, last day of Pride Month. Yeah.
Right.
We have Joe Computer Museum and jcm-1.com for all your Apple III and other retro computer needs. We have Adam McGee. Who else? We have Francois from um
We have Retrotech
from
Chris.
France, and we have Retrotech Chris, and
Chris.
that seems to be it.
And Javier. You missed Javier. And
Javier. How did you
Retroteching.
miss Javier?
I haven't seen. Oh, okay.
Good
Sorry, I
gosh.
didn't scroll down. Yeah. Hi, Retro Techie. Oh, and thanks. Yes, yes. And we also have Javier. No, just not feeling like being on a stream tonight, but I'm here. So
Allegedly. This could also be a very, very well done AI.
it,
We're not 100% sure.
beep bop boop. Or I mean, yes, and
I'm a
and
computer. Beep a doop boop bop.
and I could I could also I it could also be Simon.
You
Um,
could be Simon Whistler.
I could be Simon Whistler. Thank you. Hi, I'm Simon Whistler. Welcome to the Casual Criminalist. Let me
Mm.
tell you how this goes. One of my
And
fabulous writers.
demonetized.
So I wanted to make sure I mentioned real quick before I forget. Registration for in person at Kansas Fest actually closes tomorrow, July 1st.
Correct.
So if you plan on going to Kansas Fest at all in person, make sure
Yeah,
you
you
register
better.
today. Today's
You
the last
better.
day.
Also, I
Registration
would
closes tomorrow.
like to point out that tomorrow is a holiday in Canada, so that's very
Yep.
That's true.
inappropriate that you chose to use the first as the last day to register.
That is true.
Yes, it's very disrespectful to us
Oh
Canadians,
Yeah.
man,
considering
Okay.
that 2/3 of this stream is Canadian.
that's right.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm half American, so
Oh, don't no, don't even say that. That
so
that's just
it's like two and a half.
that's just wrong.
Yeah, mom's
Why
American.
is it not?
Oh,
Why?
Canada,
So
yes. So,
I got some new things this week. I'd like to share.
why don't you show us your new things?
So I got some new Apple III software, Apple III Business Graphics.
Oh, we
Business.
It's got
need
a
to.
lot of cool stuff in there.
Sorry, just I'm going to interrupt for a quick second. We need to ban Adam McGee.
Oh,
They have apparently the Boston versus excuse me, Toronto game on here, and he's rooting for Boston.
no,
Well, you can't
So
can't
that's
see it through
appropriate.
the smoke.
That's appropriate. Toronto's terrible. Carry on.
excuse me,
You heard me. Toronto is terrible.
we are the center of the universe. Didn't you know up here?
No, that's Vancouver.
No,
Did you get that memo?
no, it's
So
There's
Toronto.
nothing past the Rockies. Ask
That's
anybody from Vancouver.
yeah, probably yeah.
I also got Apple Access 3 for the Apple III.
Nice.
It is a terminal program.
So, what kind of databases can you make with that? Is that like,
Well, this is a terminal program so that you can connect,
like,
to
I mean,
other things. Yeah, exactly. Well, I know.
developers? Sorry.
And then I've got a bunch of other Apple III software that I already had that I showed off. But for anybody out there that needs to make blueprints or CAD drawings, I picked up a copy of MiniCAD 6 for the Macintosh.
So if that's the mini CAD,
Oh my gosh,
what's
I
the full
know.
size look like?
Oh man,
Right?
if you could feel the weight of this box, it's like 8 pounds.
Yeah, it's
Probably
almost
it's
Easily.
and it's probably like 90% manuals.
I think
Yeah.
there's
Ninety
Oh
actually
ninety
yeah.
just
five percent of the weight is
but
manual.
I think there's both floppy and CD in there, is
Yeah.
there not?
There's
Yeah.
floppies. Yeah, floppies and CDs, and it works
Okay.
with OS 7 or higher. So yeah, so it's a little older. It does
So
2D and 3D printing.
Adam is asking you to image that and send it to him for his
Oh
floppy
yeah,
email.
yeah,
I
yep,
assume he means the Apple III software,
yeah, yeah. I'm
not the
sure.
mini CAD.
Yeah, so I'm in the process of copying over all of the Apple III software that I have to both digital format for the floppy email as well as I've got 105 1/4 new old stock discs here, so that way I can make some physical copies of a couple of these things. For backups. Strictly for backups.
Pirating. Excuse
But a
me.
lot of this Apple III software is copyright 1981, um, so yeah, it's
Technically not
pretty old.
copyright if it happened before you were born. You didn't sign that
It did
contract.
happen before I was born,
See?
so yeah.
Okay, both of you, stop.
Trina's like, I was in high school in 1981.
Not high school. Not
My
high
first
school.
year of college.
My first. Wow. Thanks, guys.
Well, she's not Eric old. Come on now.
But yeah, so I'm trying to purchase any Apple III software that I find out there, just so that we can all get copies of some of this stuff, because it is harder and harder to find. And there's a few people that have copied some Apple III stuff, but there's not an extensive list of software like Apple II and stuff, that's available. So yeah, so it's great to be able to copy a lot of this stuff for other people, and people might be interested that have Apple IIIs as well.
There you go. We'll start our own our equivalent to Macintosh Garden, but we'll call it Apple
But
Garden.
better, but better.
But better with blackjack
Yeah,
and hookers.
that's right.
Actually, forget the blackjack. Classic thinking.
So, how is everyone this evening?
Good. It was a very busy week. This was the last week of
Yep.
school. Well, technically school was over last week, but this is the admin week, as we call it. So all the admin staff are in to finalize the things for the school year. So
Awesome.
it's all fun, done, and the company that films out of our school during the summer was in to set up for the next season of the TV show. So all our branding was coming off the walls, and all the fictitious branding for the school was going up, which is kind of funny. So
That is funny.
I used to work at St. Bon's. Now I work at St. Bridget's. It's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Joe said that's because there's not an extensive list of Apple III software existent.
Yeah.
It just was never made. So that's one of the things that we should work on as a group as well, as anybody that's actually interested in coding. Trying to learn how to code on the Apple III would be awesome, to maybe make some ports of some other software that was available.
Just take everything Naboo and port it to the Apple III.
That's right. But in even less
None
colors.
of it'll work.
But in even less colors. Yeah.
Okay, so when you say none of it will work, do you mean none of the Apple IIIs will work? Because that's not surprising. Or do you mean the software?
Column A, column B.
Yeah, a little bit of
Okay.
both. A little bit of both.
But don't load that into the database program on the Apple III
Nope,
because it
no.
just won't work.
Retro Techie, I can code and scratch. Does that count?
Joe says both.
Yes. Eric says yet another platform to learn to program on. There you go. I don't know that they had HyperCard for Apple III. That's possible they might have. I don't know.
Maybe you can invent it. Apple Pascal would be the software framework.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
I have a copy of Microsoft Pascal.
I remember
Really?
Microsoft Pascal. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody gave it to me in a milk crate. It's the entire program and all the manuals in a milk crate
Oh my goodness gracious.
with a brand new 1200 baud ISA
Hey,
modem.
hey, stop.
Hey,
Sorry. Not
Trina,
talking to you.
we told you if it's date night,
Yeah, no HyperCard.
you just go.
Because I feel like HyperCard came out around what, the 2GS time? So that was way after the 3,
I was
the Apple
gonna
III.
say like late 80s, maybe
Yeah.
early mid 80s.
Yeah, because
Oh,
most
and Eric confirmed no hypercode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
No.
go. So most of the Apple III software is copyrighted 1981. So
Yeah.
yeah, very, very early 80s.
So basic, if
Yeah,
you will.
yeah.
But yeah, so you also have what was I going to say? I'm not going to mention the thing that came that or that you bought that is going to
Oh
somebody
yeah,
else. We'll keep
the
that
thing. Yeah,
the thing. I was going to mention it, but
that's right.
we'll not mention it.
No, no.
There's a cool thing coming,
Yep,
and
it's on the way.
you'll have to wait for more information.
That's right.
Um, so the move is going well.
Yes.
You're
Yeah, so
getting
we've
there.
been moving stuff all week, in the evenings, because I've been working during the day and then trying to get done. But we took a bunch more stuff out of here the last few days, so pretty much empty room here now.
Nice,
But
nice,
yeah, we've been moving quite a bit of stuff out.
Does
awesome.
does the does does this room represent the rest of your house in regards to how
Uh,
empty it is?
no, so we've pretty well got everything that's going to storage out, but maybe one more trip, and then the rest of the stuff actually goes to the new house. Because we've been
Okay.
trying to get rid of everything that actually doesn't go first,
No, that
so
makes
that we
sense.
know what we have left that's gotta go to the house.
But the rest of the house must be starting to look like this room, though. Like the one you're living in
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely clearing out. Yeah, quite
Is
a bit of stuff
now
is
is
cleared
the
out.
other room to the side of you there? Is that empty or is that full of stuff still?
No, it's actually pretty close to empty. I've been staging some of the stuff that actually goes to the other house over there, but we cleared it all out. So everything that I have in my Apple and Mac collection, besides the Apple III and some power books, are there already moved. They're
Cool.
gone already.
So someone needs to pack up a disk drive and some
Well, I
floppies.
I took 3 large cases of 5 1/4 drives out today, so I have plenty to spare.
Yeah.
I'm not
Because
going to bother you,
so
Frank,
good
about what you
good
need to send
news.
me
This
because
I already
I'm
have
not
it
the
ready. It's in the box.
I'm not the kind of person to bother you about it. You'll
Yeah.
send it when you send it.
Yeah.
Unlike some people
Uh,
who will keep nagging you
yeah, it's already in the
and
box,
nagging you
ready to
well
go.
and
because somebody
nagging
was
you
supposed to put it in the
and
box to
nagging
start
you
with.
Well,
and
honest to God, it's
nagging you
best that I didn't,
and nagging you.
considering how the box showed up
I know. So
after it
speaking of
bounced around Canada for a month and a half.
what we're talking about is Frank sent me very nicely an Apple IIe.
Why don't you show everybody, Trina?
I can't. It's in the living room and I'm in the bedroom. And Casper is now curled up, like attached to my hip, so I can't move.
Casper, the friendly ghost, the friendliest
Yeah.
ghost in town. Sorry.
Um, it's just a yes. Well, see, I have to represent Canada and ask for free stuff. So yes, but yeah, I finally got the Apple IIe. Finally,
Nice.
I looked at the email and I saw that I had a flex delivery notification. So then I looked up the tracking number and it was said it was ready for pickup, and I went, oh my
Ooh.
god,
Nice.
because I wasn't sure what. So
I received a few things in the mail this week. What did I get? I got no,
I'll show it off Sunday on Dave's stream.
Awesome.
I bought a few things at the auction this week. That's what it. But I haven't picked them up yet. I was supposed to pick them up today, but we're in the process of. I was in the process of setting up for the science fiction convention, which is going on this weekend
Hmm.
here in lovely St. John's, Newfoundland. It's AvX Avalon Expo 2023. Uh, what's
I call bullshit on you, Adam. Just being straight honest with you. I'm calling bullshit on you.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so this today was setting up for the science fiction convention. I posted a bunch of photos in Discord for anybody who hasn't seen them. We have about 8 or 10 computers, going from Apple II era all the way up to 2005, 2006. We're kind of debating in our own little group if Vista is going to enter the realm of what is considered vintage or retro
Hmm.
in the coming years. I feel like it is. It makes me feel old because I was there when I was there. It's Gandalf 3,000 years ago. Um, I was there when Vista first was launched, and I remember selling Vista. I was working at the Radio Shack at the time, and I remember selling it. So it's kind
That's
of
pretty
hard for
cool.
me hard
Was
for
it
me to swallow that
was
it's
it
now
was it
considered
was
retro.
it Radio Shack or was it the Source?
It was the Source, but it's easier to call it
Yeah.
Radio Shack because
Okay.
Americans
Same
don't know what the
difference.
Source
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Health wise, I'm okay. Mental wise, it's been a long week. So
Indeed. But yeah, it was a great show today. We had uh, we were there around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock to set up, and doors opened at 2. Of course, I forgot everything that I meant to bring because that's how it. Give me a break, Ryan. Oh, talking about Vista. Yeah, I know. Back in my day. Uh, oh, Joe sending me a hug. Thank you, Joe.
I think he's sending me hugs, but I'll send hugs back to Joe, and I love you as well, Adam.
He sent me hugs. It's alphabetical order. My name comes first.
Okay.
Joe has 3 hugs, like the Apple 3.
All right,
We each get one.
I gotta do something just
There
for
you go,
just
Trina.
for just for Retro Techie.
Oh God.
Thanks, Chris. Um,
Eric.
Eric, we don't need to know. That's a little TMI.
That's a hoot.
There. Are you
Too
happy?
funny. Too funny. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
But yeah, so it was a good day. We had probably a couple of hundred people through. It's the quieter of the 3-day event. It's sort of the first day. It's everybody kind of eases into the con. Tomorrow is going to probably be off the rails. Um, we're not giving a talk this time, so that's very convenient. Appears my camera is frozen, so let me fix that real quick. Bear with me.
They'll only let you ride a power scooter around VCF if it's powered by a 8088.
Really,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I think Frank might be lying a bit.
You think?
I
Fine.
think
6502.
Hilarious.
8 bits are all you get.
All you get are 8 bits. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Too funny.
Of
What
course,
happened to your
OBS.
camera? Are you having a Justin D. Morgan issue like yesterday? Or your
No, I'm
camera
having an
died too?
OBS is being a pain in the
And then
dick.
he came back upside down.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
epic.
No, he was didn't want to tell us he was streaming from Australia.
Oh, that would be funny.
Yes, yes, you totally can
That would
because
be
that
hilarious.
would be amazing. I'll wear my lieutenant
Yep.
hers uniform.
Wear
We'll
your
do it up.
uniforms, whip out a tricorder, start
Yep.
checking things out. Be like, this price seems a bit crazy.
Captain, I'm scanning irregular
That's right.
pricing.
That'd be hilarious.
Funny.
I'm not an engineer.
Do you
I'm a
have
doctor, damn it.
so Retro Techie, I see that you had mentioned you had made swag earlier. Do you have a site where people can go to buy said
Oh yeah,
swag?
I want to see swag.
Can I
Yeah.
have some?
I'll be in a kilt in a Class A TOS uniform.
So
That's
you're gonna
hilarious.
so we have Eric as Scotty.
Yeah. Who is actually Canadian?
Yes, that's right. And originally from Halifax, Nova
Hey,
Scotia.
Retro Techie could be Jim.
He could. His name is Jim,
That's
and
true.
he is a bit
There
of
you
a
go.
drama queen, so that does
The site is
track.
giving me your credit card number now.
We have to get Retro Techie to make every word a
Joe wants to be
sentence.
Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay. Joe can be Captain Kirk. There you go. Okay.
Joe, you
Nice.
will have to sleep with weird green women. Are you okay with that?
Oh no,
Oh,
he's a
that's
Kirk.
right. Yeah, yeah. Joe, you got to sleep with you got to sleep with women, Joe. Think about that. You sure you want to be Captain Kirk?
That's hilarious.
Joe is
Have-
Sulu now.
Eric will drink all the Romulan
can,
ale.
no, Joe said I can fake it. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Uh,
What are you going to be like Robin Williams in the Birdcage?
Joe,
Oh
oh
my gosh.
my.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
And you can, and if you want to be Sulu, you can be Sulu from Star Trek 6, who is Captain Sulu.
Hmm. Hmm.
Upgrade.
That's right.
So you still get to keep the rank of captain.
But his ship is not that great.
There's nothing wrong with the Excelsior.
It sounds like
I
something Stanley would ride into battle.
I always liked the design of the Excelsior. So
Excelsior.
top was made for Will Wheaton. Okay.
I don't understand, but okay.
Um, I don't know. You legitimately have a uniform top that was made for Will Wheaton? Like you have an
Will
actual
Wheaton?
prop?
Will Wheaton?
That's a very Sheldon thing to say. Will Wheaton.
Because that would be if Adam actually has a uniform top
That would
like
be cool.
That would be
that
cool.
Will Wheaton wore or was designed for Will Wheaton off
We
the
could
off
clone
the
him.
series. That would be amazing. That'd be
So
so cool.
I have a retro gripe.
Oh,
Okay, let's hear it.
You know what
Assume the
grinds my
position.
gears? All right. Um, so originally Diablo 1 back in
Hmm.
1998, when you purchased it, from what I can gather, at least the copies I have, at least the Canadian copies that were released, um, all included an Apple version. Right, so it
Yep.
came with the PC and the Apple version in one
sorry.
Yep.
box.
Same CD.
What is the game?
Diablo by
Okay.
Blizzard. However, in their infinite wisdom, when they released Diablo 2, it refers to a Mac edition on the back. It says trademarks are for Apple. So you would think, oh, well, if there's trademarks for Apple written on the back of the box, it must mean that there's an Apple version in the box. There is not. It specifically says on the side Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows 98, Windows NT, Windows XP. So
Hmm.
this is actually a reprint that came out in 2004.
Yeah, those smaller boxed ones were.
Yeah. So this is a
They were
reprint
for
that came.
like Walmart and Target
Yeah.
and things.
So
Hmm.
this was a reprint.
Hmm.
But in the time from doing the original, which would have had the Apple version in it, um, they've decided, oh no, we're just going to put the Windows version in it. If you want to buy the Apple version, you got to go buy
Oh,
another.
and also high 1-bit. Sorry.
1 bit, yeah, 97. Sorry, I played it in 98. I couldn't afford um, the whatever was $35 back in the day to buy Diablo 1 when it first came out. Um, anyway, it just grinds my gears when they reissue um, games that traditionally would have came with both Windows and Mac,
Hmm.
and they don't include it in the reissue. Just drives me nuts. Much like how the upcoming Marathon 4 is only going to be an Xbox exclusive
That's silly.
instead of being available on the Mac.
There's still
Anyway,
4 innings, Adam.
that's my gripe.
That's
Okay.
what grinds my gears.
Yeah,
Old man yells at
the cloud.
clouds.
Yeah.
Wake me when you're done.
Anyway, that's my gripe. And realistically, it's because I then ended up having to go download a copy of Diablo 2 from Macintosh Garden
Ah.
to be able to use it at the con. You know, it is hilarious though, playing the original version of Halo on a Power PC G5 because it's an Xbox game, but was originally made for Power PC Mac.
What are you looking at, Frank?
I found an Apple III conference program, and I'm just confused as to what conferencing they would have done in 1980 on an Apple III. And of course, like you Google anything Apple III, like there's no results. Like there's just nothing.
Post
It's
it.
been scrubbed from the internet. It's been scrubbed.
I was gonna say, Adam, post. It'd be great if you could post a photo of it to the Discord
Yeah, post
of
it to
that
Discord.
shirt. Yeah.
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 That
It's
would
an
be cool.
actual prop, that is cool. So
And you
did
know what?
Will? I just want to know, Adam. Did Will Wheaton actually wear it during an episode, or was it just made for him and he, like, as a spare?
It has his DNA,
Oh, so we can
Aliens.
clone Will Wheaton.
I already just
like
said that.
like
Where
the
where the frig
episode of
were
the
you?
like the episode of The Big Bang where Penny gives Sheldon the napkin that
Yeah,
Leonard Nimoy wiped his mouth with.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Clone him.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. So you want some tech news, Retro Techie? Let's go to tech news. If I can go.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep, do it.
Okay. So, I went looking because it is the last day of Pride, so I kind of went trying to find um something Pride related. And I found an article. All major social networks fail to keep LGBTQ people safe from hate. Study finds. So of course we know about Twitter and who owns that. But in a 2023 report, uh, there was a report done this year that gave Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're looking at you, YouTube, and TikTok, all low and failing scores.
Yeah, if
It's the
honest, I'm
second.
not surprised by Twitter or TikTok. Let's be honest.
All right. Well, Twitter, I'm not surprised at all. Facebook, I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not
Um,
surprised at TikTok either. It's the Chinese government. They don't care
yeah,
at all.
well, but they also have a lot of LGBTQ plus content on TikTok as well as YouTube. So,
Right, but I'm guessing they also have a pile of anti
oh
content.
yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Actually, there was another article I found that they recently there was some woman who goes by another name on YouTube that they've demonetized on YouTube for spreading hate. So
That's good.
yay. But yeah, it's the second year in a row with such results, despite four platforms seeing improvements in their scores, except for Twitter,
Of
which
course,
surprise, surprise, got worse.
of course.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So the only one out of the five was Twitter that got worse. Surprise, surprise. But yeah. So we have work to do on social media, but I'm not surprised there. Yeah, Twitter saw a 12-point decrease from its 2022 score down to 33. Oh, good God.
That's not even a passing grade.
No. Far from, well, they all failed, so they all got below a 60 or whatever passing
50.
is nowadays.
50.
You know, let's see.
But you can make it arbitrary. I mean, some people do exams. You like doctors have to be at like a minimum of an 80 to pass. So
Yeah, see, when I went to post secondary, it was 70
when I
to,
was in
to pass.
university, it was 50. As long as you got a 50, you passed.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it was 70 for us.
F for effort. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Tech news. Yeah, basically, I've been flat out all week, so I really haven't been following much. I'll talk briefly. They did bring part of the submarine back to home port.
Hmm.
I was watching it on the news there the other day. Kind of weird to see your home port on international news, but here we are. And they did, in fact, bring up some of the remains. So hopefully that'll allow some of the families to find some level of closure. So you know, Logitech also is currently doing damage control because the fact that Logitech controller was used in their submarine.
Yeah, I can't imagine that helped
No,
their market shares.
I think it might have actually affected their stock prices.
Oh, stock prices. Yeah, sorry, that's yeah.
Logitech stock prices. I believe they actually did have a dip the other day.
Hmm.
Um, 5 day, 1 month. Yeah, around the 13th they dropped. But that might be unrelated. But then they took a real dive on the 21st, which I think is when was this? When did the sub disappear? That would have been the 19th. So yep, that makes sense. That tracks. So yeah, it did affect their stock prices. Look at that.
Oi.
Retro Techie's there with his tinfoil hat on.
Why? What's he saying?
He said it was an inside job. They were attacked by the evil Newfoundland government.
Oh,
Be that as it may, our government is too inept to coordinate tying their own shoelaces, let alone uh, coordinating an attack on anything. But yeah, so my week's been pretty slow, and I apologize. I usually would have something to talk about. It's a little bit more exciting than this, so I do apologize. And I know Frank is in the similar
Yeah,
boat,
it's
having
been
spent all
crazy.
week moving. So I promise next week we'll have something a little bit more entertaining. I'm off for the next 3 weeks, so I have no
Hmm.
excuse not to
and the
not.
best part is it was slow for me all week, and all I did was sit and watch um Criminalist.
Simon
Yeah, I
Whistler.
watched Simon.
Well, you did buy a new bookcase, so there you go.
Yeah, I did buy a
True.
new bookcase yesterday. That's right.
Currently fighting with a hard drive here, trying to copy files over, and it keeps failing because the power supply is questionable, or the USB is getting over excited because of everything running through that USB bus right now. I'm not really sure what's causing it. Anyway, it's not working properly. Um, but there was something else that I saw pique my interest the week, and I did want to mention it, but I don't remember what it was. Um, Let me have a quick look back through what I've watched this week. Uh, Oh, I know what it was. It was to talk about the stream. I don't know if you guys watched the VCF Midwest or Southwest or whatever it was. They did a way better job of editing their stream, uh, and the videos were really good. The panel, the 2 hour YouTube panel, I definitely recommend anybody who has a channel should watch it. It's quite good, um, and it was very entertaining to watch. It was cool to see like you had some really well established channels like Dave Murray, the 8-Bit Guy, and Action Retro, and Usagi Electric, and Bill Hurd from Hackaday
Hmm.
and Commodore fame was the
And
moderator.
was that the one that with that Amy and Taylor and Amy were
Taylor
on?
and Edward, yeah. So it was good to see like some really small channels, and it was funny because one of the questions that was asked was like one of the first questions Bill asked was like, "How do you what advice do you have for anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel?" And Taylor and Amy kind of chipped in. Yes, we would love to know. They leaned forward, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, yeah, because they are only a small channel, and I hope actually that they get a lot of exposure from the Midwest or Southwest, I should say, and they get lots of new subscribers.
Yeah,
But
that would be awesome.
it was really good. A lot of really poignant questions from the audience. One of the best ones is probably an engineer got up and basically, I think he said he worked at Amiga or Commodore for a while.
Oh, that's
Anyway, yeah,
pretty
he
cool.
asked the question. He said, with most things, like for example, any historic things that are usually kept, like you look at like B-52 bombers. Well, somebody will restore one or restore an old tank or something, and the whole idea is that in the end it ends up in a museum and it's used for insert random use here. He was asking sort of like, now that you've got these retro computers fixed, what do you do with them, right? And what purpose do they have? I mean, they're no longer really functional, especially in modern times. But what can you use them for? And Action Retro chimed in and said, "Well, he actually does try to get things to work. Like we've all seen him try to play Minecraft on things that have no god right to be playing Minecraft." But it was a really good. It was really good to watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it at work while I was in the background, and 2.5 hours. It didn't seem like it was that long. It was quite good. So I do recommend people watch the streamer, specifically the YouTube panel was really good. Um, Use them to write applications. Retro Techie wants to know why there are no closet doors behind you, because apparently that's why we're here to talk
Be-
about.
because it is
There never
2023,
were doors on
and
that
and
closet.
there should never be any doors on a closet. People should be able to come out of the closet anytime they want without doors being in the way.
I had a giant lateral file cabinet that was shoved in there.
Right. Oh, you're welcome. One bit. It was really good. Like I said, it was a thoroughly enjoyable panel. I liked it. Bill Hurd is always amazing as the moderator. He's an interesting fellow in his own right, and I could probably listen to, like, I've watched videos of him talking about Commodore days and how they figured things out, and they're always quite good. But it was also really nice that, like, they didn't lean heavily on, like, the really big channels. Like, Dave Murray said stuff, but he wasn't the main one that was answering questions. It was left to sort of the people with the mid-range channels, which was really really nice to see. Like David from Usagi Electrics, if anybody's not subscribed to that channel, highly recommend. Fantastic channel. Even if the content is not something you're interested in, just
Mhm.
the way that he presents the PD-11 and all those old, essentially what we would call like mainframe type computers from back in the 60s and 70s, is really entertaining. And watching him try to get the Hawk drives to work, the like one of what it's this gigantic hard drive that's probably that big and about that wide, and it has 10 or 15 platters spinning in it, and they're probably the size of a large, probably twice the size of a record. And it's not hermetically sealed, but it uses negative air pressure to keep dust out of it, and it's like a really cool. Watching him try to figure that out is pretty cool. So I definitely recommend it. Yeah, and it's 5 megabytes. It's like super small size.
Hey, Will,
Hey, Will.
Hey,
and
Will, how
and
are you?
that must be nice to have the kids there and spending some time with them.
Awesome.
Um, so so I've been doing some reading after Retro Techie's suggestion in the chat. Um, Apparently Google and Facebook is going to block Canadian news,
Correct.
and it's so and the reason being is that there is the government has proposed the Online News Act, or known as Bill C-18,
Yep.
which would require internet giants to compensate Canadian media companies for making news content available on their platform.
Yep.
Hello, have you not learned from Reddit? This is not a good idea.
But welcome to Canada, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah. So
Right? Like
first
what?
tabled in June 2022, Bill C-18 would essentially force companies like Google and Meta, which owns Facebook, to negotiate deals to pay Canadian media companies, because Canadian media companies aren't clearly making enough,
Right.
for their content, for the content they link to and preview on their websites and
So
platform.
here's my problem with it.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're not going to be linking it through Facebook. That's fine. I
yeah,
can go look at them. I can go to www.cbc.ca/NL for Newfoundland, and I can
right.
read news all day long. I don't pay for it. The ads on the page pay for that to be there, and it's a federally funded
Right.
news agency. So that they don't get paid for, but they want to be paid if Facebook has a link to it to the same website.
Yeah,
But
which
they're
makes
also
no
going to get the
sense.
ad revenue from the Facebook link, just no different than if I went and looked at the website without using Facebook as a, not linking it through Facebook. Like, I don't understand. It seems like a cash grab.
Oh, it
Right?
totally does. I hope the Senate votes it down because
They
it's
won't.
been passed by the yeah. Well,
They won't. Because there's also a bunch of other really questionable things bolted into that bill besides this,
okay.
and it's one of those omnibus things where they're like, "Oh, we better bolt everything together so it can't fail."
Well, if I've learned anything from the Imperial Senate, it's just a shit show.
Yeah. Well, once Palpatine takes over,
That's right.
I mean Justin,
That's
um,
right.
it's the end of the times.
Absolutely.
But
Media corporations.
much like the Senate, our Senate is just a bunch of old retired farts that aren't actually elected in there and sit
Ours
there until
too.
the day they die.
You get a lot of lifers.
Retro Techie, that's a crock of shit.
That's
Media companies in Canada don't get paid for their content. Sure, they do. They don't get paid now. If I go visit a news website, I don't pay to see that. What pays for it are the ads that they
Yeah,
sell on the news
exactly.
website.
yeah,
Well,
right.
not only that, but I believe a lot are subsidized by the government in the first place.
Well, Canada CBC is
Yeah,
right, but like I
Yeah,
look at
exactly.
we have a Newfoundland specific called VOCM. It's the Voice of the Common Man. It's like the original radio station that was here
Hmm.
in 1940 or 1930 something. Anyway, they have a website. I visit it every
Hmm.
morning. I don't pay to visit it. They subsidize their existence with their website by ad
Hmm.
spacing, like every other,
Most do. Yeah.
right?
And I'm sorry, CTV is owned by Bell.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry,
exactly.
if you can't tell me that Bell doesn't have a few extra bucks sitting in their back pocket,
Yeah,
ha
exactly.
ha,
Crock of
oh,
shit.
and ha.
Yeah. And like you look at like newspapers. Yeah, newspapers are dying, and now newspapers are starting to charge people for the news. But why? Like they could go to a totally different model of selling ad space. And don't get me wrong, they can also start doing videos where they can insert ads and sponsorships into the videos. Like I don't know, if only there was a platform that allowed you to post videos and monetize it to make money. Hmm. So they wouldn't have to develop their own platform. If only there was such a thing.
Right?
If only there was such a thing.
The thing. The thing.
Anyway, I think yeah, Bill C-18 sounds like a pile of poop.
No, Retrotechy, you're not understanding what I'm saying. They're going to be charged if I post a link to a news article. They're going to be charged for it. That's what they're saying. They're going to start charging for me posting the link on my Facebook and letting other people see it. That's why they're going to block that stuff, which is a crock of shit. The ads
Hmm.
that those websites have pay for the websites to exist. If they don't, the website shouldn't exist. If it's not self-sufficient, it shouldn't exist. What they're trying to say is happening, which does happen, is Google or Facebook. Well, I don't think Facebook does it, but Google does it, where they will go and scrape the news and make a news blotter. But
Hmm.
again, I don't use the Google News blotter. I just go to the website of the news, carrier of my choice. Um, but that doesn't stop for other websites from doing it. There are lots of scraping sites that scrape the news and present
Hmm.
it as their own. Yeah. See, Adam said I worked at the LA Times in the 90s. They knew back then they wouldn't survive on selling papers. Exactly. If
Hmm.
they don't choose to
Oh,
to figure their shit out, they're not gonna survive.
that reminds me. Surviving on paper. I just read an article that said that National Geographic will be going out of print at the end of the year. They will no longer be printing the actual paper National Geographic magazines anymore after December 31st. They will be. They laid off the rest of their staff writers the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, they.
Your check,
I think they're owned by Disney.
Ryan will send you a check.
I'm almost positive National Geographic's owned by Disney now. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'd say
they
they
laid
are. Yeah.
off the rest of the staff, and they said that they will no longer
I
be
know
doing
Nat
print.
Geo is, which is
Yeah,
their TV branch.
yeah.
'Cause,
So it's got to be then.
yeah. But again, like National Geographic, when was the last time you bought one?
Oh, I haven't.
Exactly.
I always saw them at the flea markets
I
and
just
yard
hate I
sales.
just hate these people that get on like the soap. Oh, we got to save this industry. Why?
Hmm.
Oh,
And you
print
are
print and
correct.
media.
The Walt Disney Company, commonly known as Disney,
Okay,
owns the, yeah.
National
So
Geographic. Okay,
until 2015, the magazine was completely owned and managed by the National Geographic Society.
okay.
Since 2019, controlling interest has been held by the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There
So
we go.
And again, it's like why do we nobody looks back at history and goes, back in the day, all those coopers that got fired, laid off because we stopped using barrels, or all those blacksmiths that stopped got laid off because we no longer had
Hmm.
horses to shoe. Nobody thinks about those. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing. If an industry is dying, let it die.
Oh, exactly.
Don't don't
Lyric's
don't
right.
spe- don't spirit it along trying to save it for the sake of not. Yeah, I know. Actually, we just literally threw out the last of the National Geographics at the school. We had like a whole collection from say like 1980 probably to 2005.
the only thing, every time somebody mentions National Geographic, all that comes to mind is boobies.
Yeah, because that's what everybody looked at it for. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
tribes people. Let's go look at
yeah,
the tribes people.
yeah.
Adam says Disney Plus just increased their price because Showtime is included, but I was paying for Showtime separate, and he's canceling it, so they lose $9
Yeah,
because he's paying separate now.
but that's fine. That's how the market works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right? Like the
innovate
market
or
will
perish, absolutely, hundred
yeah,
percent.
no,
the
yeah.
market will survive. right? And the
Yeah,
market
because
will determine.
yeah, companies that don't change their format and keep up with the demand or people's interests, it's just they just go out.
But I look at like even my dad. He's 78. He's got the he's mid stage dementia. He still reads the newspaper, but we got him an iPad, and he
Hmm.
subscribes to our local newspaper. He pays $20 a year or a month or whatever it is for the local newspaper, and that's how he reads it. So if a
Mhm.
man like my father can learn how to use an iPad to read it, why are we still printing newspapers?
Me neither. Chris, didn't realize Showtime's included Disney Plus. I pay for Disney
It is,
Plus.
yeah,
I'll
it
have
is
to
included.
try and figure out. So how do you access the Showtime
Ah,
then?
you have to put a password on your actual profile. You can't access Showtime until or Star until your account has a lock, parental lock, so kids can't accidentally look at Showtime.
Wait. So you activate that, and then the Showtime tab shows up
I
in
think the
Disney
shows are
Plus?
just there and they're just labeled as
Oh no
Showtime.
shit!
Yeah,
Interesting. That's a new one.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's not
That's
what
a
I was
new
gonna
one.
show. So I just reading Eric's comment here that he wants compensation for not. Now,
Yeah.
if you are smart, you will know there's a whole kink community that hates, and I'm one of them. Will not buy buggy whips, riding crops from sex stores. Why? Because they are made cheap. You go to the tax stores, you pay half the price, and you get so much better quality.
Right.
And they last more than one
Just like
session with a.
what's up with all the assless chaps? I mean, if I buy chaps, I want the ass in them,
Yeah, but we
right?
want to see
Or at
we
least
want to
ass
see
optional.
we want to
Right.
see your ass, Ryan.
Yeah. See,
That's the thing.
Eric's answer. No, I want the government to pay me for not making anything. Yes. Welcome to the welfare state, my friend. Welcome to the welfare state. Anyway, I can get on a
Socialism
soapbox.
today.
I can get on a
Right.
soapbox and vent for many hours. But that's not why you guys are here. We're here to talk about retro tech. So, any cool projects coming up, guys? Anything in the pipeline that you want to talk about?
I was trying to
Nothing here.
think of that earlier.
I'm thinking I might end up just dumping those G4s that I have instead of
Oh, the silver
farting
one.
farting around with them trying to get the SSDs to work in them and just sell them off with like a gig of memory and no hard drive.
Sure. Put them on
Yeah,
eBay.
why
Be
not?
done with them.
Yeah,
Somebody will
Yeah.
buy them. You get a couple of $100 probably on eBay for them.
yeah, absolutely.
Put them up for like $60.
Yeah.
Get rid
Yeah,
of them just
I
to be
betcha.
nice.
But you get a lot of people too who want them just for the case.
Yeah.
And
I thought
these are
Showtime was
laptops.
on Paramount Plus. Is it on both now? Because
I
I
think
also have Paramount Plus.
did Adam mean Star and not Showtime?
Oh, maybe.
Because Stars was separate. You could have separate, but now it's part of. But I was thinking maybe down in the states, Disney Plus owns Showtime. It's not the
I
case
have
here.
no idea. We pay for Netflix, Disney, Hulu, Discovery Plus, HBO.
Yeah, Showtime is on Paramount. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
imagine Adam meant Star.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Stars.
And Paramount Plus just went and shot themselves in the foot this week.
Oh,
They canceled so
well,
the main
Discovery.
reason when Paramount Plus or whatever it was called back in the day when they first launched it was you can get all your Star Trek here. And now basically there's only two series left. They just canceled the Prodigy. That was it.
Okay. So here's another thing that grinds my gears. I'm gonna back up on my soapbox here. When Disney owns something, but they take it off Disney Plus. So Disney's new movie, I can't remember the name of it. It was something about a gorilla. Anyway, it's a part of the curriculum in school for like grade fives, and it was on Disney Plus because Disney owned it. It's a Disney movie.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And then when we went to go show it in class as part of their like post, reading the book, end of the year kind of party thing, it was gone. And like it's 100% owned by Disney. Like it's not, there's no question they don't own it, but it's no longer on, and you can no longer buy it. It doesn't exist anywhere to rent. It's not on any
Oh,
other platform.
what was it called?
Um, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Disney Gorilla. One and only Ivan.
Oh, there you go. One and only Ivan. Let's take a look here.
Will message me on Discord and we'll talk. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like Bryan Cranston's in it, and it was like it was removed because they want to make a TV series, and it's part of a cost cutting measure. But like the only thing I can think of is that Disney's paying some of the actors like royalties, maybe, and it's cheaper just not to put it. Like anyway, it just doesn't make. Yeah,
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. But that so Adam,
Adam. Yeah, they call it a write off. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, no, but so when Paramount Plus announced it, there was this big uh like one of those pages that you sign your name to it. And I don't know, the last was like 20 million people signed it. It's crazy. Like they're like, why are you canceling this? Because apparently the team that had developed it already has season two ready to roll out.
what show was it?
It was Prodigy. It was
Oh, Prodigy. Yeah,
it
not the
was the
cartoon.
cartoon. Yeah,
The cartoon. Yeah.
yeah,
Like Joe said, it could be part of the writer's strike, but that would be weird. You would just table it or shelf it for the time being. You wouldn't delete it.
yeah. No, they've right out canceled it.
Weird. Anyway, all I know that I'm excited is, and I know Frank is also excited, is that From has been renewed for a third
Hmm.
season. So that
Oh,
means
and by the way, um, the my reaction, woo,
right, because you don't like horror. But
yes,
for anybody who likes horror or loved the TV show Lost, I highly recommend you watch the Paramount Plus show From. I think
Hmm.
that's where it is in the
That's
United.
MGM Plus.
Yeah, but it's on Paramount, right?
Yeah, the first season is,
Right.
and part of the second.
Yeah, the
And then I
second.
had to watch it on YouTube, premium for the other
Right.
episodes, which is weird.
Interesting. Cool. All right, guys. It seems like we're pretty much running the course here.
oh,
Uh,
just I do have a question because Retro Techie never answered. Do you have a site for your merch? And if so, is he a mod on YouTube?
Uh, so this is why Disney announced plans to remove content from Disney Plus and Hulu and canceling others during a recent earnings call about cost-cutting measures.
okay.
So they cut 40 different series across Disney and
Mm,
Hulu Plus, including several movies, so they don't have to do the payouts for the royalties for the for per view.
Ah, that's why. So that's why they took
So
Ivan
it's
off.
cost cutting. Yep, that's
Cost cutting.
exactly what it
Okay.
is. So it may come back at some point,
Yeah.
but they've been doing poorly
so
for some
so
time.
I have a question, a follow-up question. Joe, did you know that Retro Techie's selling his stuff on your site now?
Yes, Joe. I will post the link for anyone who would like to join. Hang
Yeah.
on, let me post it here. For anybody
Although,
who wants to join after we close here.
that's retro tech.
There we go.
Cool.
No, Retro Techie's invited to join.
No, he's not.
I
Yes,
don't
he is.
think it was. I don't think it was on film at all. I think it was a Paramount, I mean, a Disney Plus exclusive. They didn't put it on DVD or Blu-ray or anything.
What's that?
The Gorilla, the one in
Yeah,
Blue Island.
I don't think. But like,
It
you
was
can't
a
even.
COVID. It
Oh,
was a during
Yeah.
COVID.
so
Yeah.
so just to get on the topic of tech for a quick second, you had got two Apple computers. I forget what they were, with some gorilla
Ah,
information
yes.
or ape or monkey or something. Did you ever hear back? Because you said you had
No, so
cloned
I
the
did. I
drive.
sent an email and
Yep.
never heard anything. So I
Okay.
called the number on their website and it just goes to a recording. Like there's nobody there to answer.
Oh, did you leave a recording?
Yes.
Okay.
But I believe so that the one of the founders had passed last year in the fall. So I don't know if things have scaled back, since then.
Right.
Mm.
That maybe they're just short on people or volunteers. So
Yeah,
perhaps
might be.
it's just one person doing
Oh, and
everything
by the
now.
way,
I don't know.
since no one ever sees them,
Oh, hey Casper.
there's Casper.
The
Hey, buddy.
friendly ghost.
Yeah.
That's quite the apparition.
Yes. Very corporeal,
Very, very chunky.
chunky.
Chunky. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll end it then, guys. So thanks everybody for joining us this evening. And if
And
anybody
don't
wants to
forget to
join
Yep,
hit
in,
that like and subscribe button.
yes. And
Thank you,
absolutely.
Kevin.
we promise next week we will have more retro tech
We'll
for you
we'll
guys.
actually talk about
Real
tech stuff.
comment.
Yeah.
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 All right.
But yes, feel free to join in. Anybody that wants to. I put the link into the chat. So have a great evening, everybody.
Bye.
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 Oh my god, that